Nani. Misrepresentation actionability unambiguous. McInerney v. Lloyds Bank. For an actionable misrepresentation, the statement made must be unambiguous. Row 2. Misrepresentation actionability false. Avon Insurance v. Swire Fraser. For an actionable misrepresentation, the statement made must be false. Row 3. Misrepresentation actionability addressed to party. Comerical Banking of Sydney v. R. H. Brown. The misrepresentation must be addressed to the party misled either by the misrepresenter or a third party. Misrepresentation actionability conduct as a statement of fact. Gordon and Teixeira v. Selico. Conduct can be seen as a false statement of fact. Misrepresentation actionability conduct as a statement of fact. Spice Girls v. Aprilia World. Affirming Gordon and Teixeira v. Selico that conduct can be a false statement of fact. Misrepresentation actionability opinion as a statement of fact. Bissett v. Wilkinson. A statement of opinion is not a statement of fact if honestly offered by a layman who has no greater or expert knowledge than the addressee. Misrepresentation actionability opinion as a statement of fact. Smith v. Land and House Property Corp. If the facts are not equally known on both sides, then a statement of opinion by the one who knows the facts best involves very often a statement of a material fact. Misrepresentation actionability opinion as a statement of fact. SOV Martin. If a person professes to have special knowledge or skill and makes representation, whether it opinion, information or advice, and with the intention of inducing the addressee into the contract, that person is under a duty to use reasonable care to make sure that the representation is reliable. Misrepresentation actionability intention as a statement of fact. Beatty v. Ebury. A statement of future intention has not happened yet, and a statement of fact is about something that exists or an action that has happened. Therefore, a statement of intention cannot be a statement of fact. Misrepresentation actionability intention as a statement of fact. Wales v. Wadham. A statement of intention is not a representation of existing fact unless the person making it does not honestly hold the intention is expressing, in which case there is a misrepresentation of a fact in relation to the state of that person's mind. Misrepresentation actionability intention as a statement of fact. Edgington v. Fitzmaurice. A false statement of future intentions is a misrepresentation if the person making that statement did not intend to be true to the intention at the time of the representation. Misrepresentation actionability silence as a statement of fact. Keats v. Earl of Cadogan. Silence does not constitute a statement of fact, and so no misrepresentation cannot be actionable. There is no duty to disclose material facts. Misrepresentation actionability silence as a statement of fact. Sykes v. Taylor-Rose affirms Keats v. Taylor-Rose that there is no duty to disclose material facts. Misrepresentation actionability silence as a statement of fact. Dimmock v. Hallett exception to the general rule from Keats v. Cadogan. Apostrophe half-truth where a statement is made that is true but is misleading because it does not reveal the whole facts is a misrepresentation. Misrepresentation actionability silence as a statement of fact. With V. O. Flanagan exception to the general rule from Keats v. Cadogan. Apostrophe continuing representation where a statement of fact is made that is true at that time but prior to entering into the contract becomes false and the representer fails to correct it and allows the other party to enter into the contract on the basis of the original representation is a misrepresentation. Misrepresentation actionability inducement. Jeb Fasteners v. Mark Bloom. The misrepresentation had to play a real and substantial part in inducement to the contract. Misrepresentation actionability inducement. Edgington v. Fitzmaurice. The misrepresentation need not to be the only reason as to why the claimant entered into the contract. Misrepresentation actionability inducement. Pan Atlantic v. Pine Top Insurance. An objective test to seek if the statement was material, whether the information would have influenced a reasonable person in the position of the representee to contract the representer. If it is found that the statement is objectively material, then inducement will be presumed. Misrepresentation actionability inducement. Smith v. Chadwick. If it is found that the statement statement made was not objectively material, it is presumed that the statement did not induce the contract. Misrepresentation actionability. Inducement. Musiprum via dil. If proved objectively that misrepresentation would have induced contract, then onus is on representer to prove representee was not induced. If found not objectively induced statement, vice versa. Misrepresentation actionability. Investigation and inducement. Horsfall v. Thomas. If the innocent party did not hear/see the misrepresentation, then no inducement can be present. Misrepresentation actionability. Investigation and inducement. John Atwood v. Robert Small. If the representee did not rely on the statement but relied on some other factor, left parent I.e. own investigations right parent, the statement will not have induced the party. Misrepresentation actionability. Investigation and inducement. Redgrave v. Heard. There is no general duty to check or conduct investigation as to statements of facts made. Misrepresentation actionability. Investigation and inducement. Smith v. Eric S. Bush. The more commercial the transaction, the more reasonable to check validity of statement. Misrepresentation actionability. Investigation and inducement. Edgington v. Fitzmaurice. If the claimant can prove that they partly relied on the misrepresentation and partly on their own investigation, then inducement will be found sufficient to bring action. Misrepresentation actionability. Investigation and inducement. S. Pearson v. Dublin Corp. If the misrepresentation is fraudulent, then the inoculated party's own investigations are ignored.